Hey there, monkeys. Grab that cup of coffee, kick back, and relax. We'll get started with a SITREP in just a minute.
Attention flight tracking and aviation professionals. Command the skies with SkyGlass 2.0, where precision flight tracking reaches new heights. Prepare for the forefront as our Overwatch alert system takes charge, featuring AI-driven voice alerts that redefine readiness. Engage with the dynamic 3D interface, deploy unlimited watch lists, and harness the force of precision flight tracking. Seamlessly integrate 3D airspaces, TFRs, AirMets, and SIGMETs into your operational arsenal. SkyGlass isn't just an upgrade, it's your tactical advantage. Redefine precision flight tracking, amplify situational awareness, and conquer the skies with SkyGlass from Avia Labs.
All right. Hey, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Aswinker here. It's going to be your SITREP. It is 3/19/2024, coming to you live here from the Monkey Lounge in the great state of Texas. As we get into what's going on in the world, today we're just going to peel this banana back a little bit. We're going to talk about the solar eclipse. I've never seen them come out and tell people to stock up on food for a solar eclipse. This is it's quite unusual, actually. So we're going to look at that. We're going to also just look at the news stuff that's happening around the world relative to illegal immigration and to the war and what's coming. We do have some interesting flight data as I start to look at the things going into RZE Poland. And it does look like we indeed have a surge happening right now. So we're going to look at that closely, and we're going to talk about it. So let's do this. I'm going to jump over here to the mini board as we get into the deets. And this is kind of interesting. We're sitting at 256 up right now. Remember, it's not about quantity. It's about really what exactly is up. Perfect example is I've already stripped out 104 Text 2 trainers, 46 EC45s, and 41 T38. So those are mainly, that equipment will be for training, okay? And so you take those out and you're sitting at almost 200 just on the trainers alone. Now, look at this H63 number. This was crazy. Actually, 63 of those bad dudes up right now, which is, that's astronomically high. We do see a lot here in the Panhandle. It may just be the fact that they've got some beautiful weather to doing some training there. But all of this up here in the Northeast it's definitely a lot higher than what we would normally see. Now let's bounce over to Europe and see if we got anything new going on over there. I do see 3 currently up on the main side. Looks like kind of southern. Yeah, there's München right here. So that's Munich. So it's across Germany. And then I see 2 out over the water of the Adriatic Sea. And then 1 out here over Portugal. So let's go back to CONUS, and then let's strip this down. I do want to look at, let's see. Now, I do know we've got a couple 747s currently up. Let's see if that one will allow me. Let me turn these off. And you can see that's going to be Air Force One. This looks to be, well, no, maybe that's Air Force One. I don't know. We've got 2 of them up. Usually don't see that very often, but there's another one headed westbound. Now, I can tell you Flashbang is on the move. That's going to be your doomsday bird down here near El Paso. Remember, that one is set up. It looks very similar to Air Force One. anytime the president is on the move. I cringe when I call that guy that. But anytime Flashbang is on the move, or any other president for that matter, this bad dude right here is usually pretty close by. So that's going to be your 747s. Now, look at this. We do have this one also in tow. That's going to be another one. That could also be Air Force One. That's a 757-200. And again, they don't mark them like they should. And just because they don't love our country and they don't take any pride in that. So, all right, let's see what else we have. If we look at the electronics suite, we got a couple E3 Sentries and E6. And only one across the United States. The others are abroad. So we jump over to Europe. You can see that as well. Kind of all the way across Europe, all the way down in towards, well, this is southern France here. But those are advanced early warning AWACS, right? And so they do a lot of different things. That is not an AWACS, and I don't know why this continues to do this on me. That's an AWACS in the picture. For some reason, when I click on it, that is not. It's an E6 TACAMO. So, but nonetheless, these are the aircraft that have the little domes on the top, and they look to be out and about right now. So let me turn those off. Actually, there is one E6, but that's over the United States where he looked at that. Then banana copters. So I see two here in Europe. It looks like the rest are over the United States. Look at the amount. Oh, that is interesting. Don't see that and haven't seen that in quite some time. And notice too, if we count, we bring back, so those are your H-47s. If I were to repopulate the H-60s, see, same area, all right? So something happening up here. Okay, so that is where we are. Let's take out those. We strip those away, see if there's anything else on here catches my eye. I did see a couple F-16s and a couple Eurofighters. We can take a gander. Those are probably going to be, let me see if I see any other fighter activity. I don't. So that's going to be over Europe. So let's bounce on over here and see what we've got going on. Notice down here, kind of up behind the knee bone of Italy, so to speak. Yeah, just go with me on that one, folks. F-16 out here over Belgium. A lot of Eurofighters up over the UK. So interesting. You don't see these very often. So let's back away from that. Let's get into our list. As we go in, we'll start out over here in the watch list, and we'll kick it off in Europe. Just notice low altitude drone out over the Mediterranean. And then, of course, we just pointed these out. A lot of E3 Sentries, right? Advanced early warning. But again, they can do man in the middle. They can do a lot of different things. We'll look at those closer, and I'll show you those man in the middle activity spots. But they are looking for nukes, and they can do air traffic control. It's a pretty versatile aircraft, actually. And so C-17s is always a flurry. I see one that's got a little emergency going on right there. But I do notice we got some Graybird activity in Europe, and we'll look at that as well, kind of flying in and out of the area. Remember, those are your agency boys. So anytime you see them kind of flurrying around an area, well, we need to pay close attention because that's typically your deep state. So now check this out. All right, I've got survey flights, 62 survey flights currently up. And if I just kind of shred that, just highlight those only, you can see, again, that's a lot of surveys. They continue to press on with survey flights. You're talking over 50,000 now since we started in a year. All right, that's unprecedented. And if it was just the United States, I'd say maybe they're getting ready to tax us to death, but it is all over the world. And then that's up north there in Canada. That's going to be a drone, right? And then, of course, there's may or may not be Air Force One, right? You can see the picture. Both of them are up currently, which I do find that kind of interesting. And then, of course, we've got some of the R-135s. That's a W-135. So that, I'm not sure if that is a trainer or if that is actually a nuke sniffer. And then there's one of your Graybirds. Looks to be headed north out of Florida, right? And then I see this one that's Homeland Security down there near Haiti. But it's not coming from Haiti. It's probably realistically coming out of Puerto Rico. But it's just interesting. I don't find anything over Haiti or around Haiti. I looked at the airport. Not a lot of activity. There's two scheduled to come in. But it's for all intents purposes, it is shut down. All right, there's really not too much going on. I don't see them evacuating people either. All right, Intel community. Again, this one, they're watching, looks to be towards Reno. Of course, we know Flashbang is headed to Reno. We'll look at his schedule here in a minute as well. And I just see a couple transitional flights in and out of D.C., down into Texas, Savannah. I don't know what's going on there in Savannah, but the Intel community certainly is looking at something. And then, of course, you get up to the north there, coming out of England. I see a transition. And then I do see an interesting one. That one going into Kuwait. Again, this is Intel, right? You expect to see it over Israel. And the interesting thing is there's one that comes out of Israel and goes into Serbia, which I thought was kind of an odd flight, right? And then that one down over South Korea. So let me see if we got anything. I did see one in Malaysia. That's the only one. We see it. It's pretty regular, consistent. All right, let's talk E6, TACAMO, take charge, move out. This is a Navy platform that tracks the nukes, talks to the nukes on the subs. Notice they are both off the coasts of the United States. That tells me there are submarines down there they are giving them launch codes to, or updated launch codes. And we get into the AWACS. I do find this interesting because I haven't seen this very often, but notice it's coming out off the coast of California, dropping down off towards Baja, down off the southern coast. That, I mean, are they looking for like Club Ks or something? If you're not familiar with Club K, go look that one up. But they're looking for nukes on cargo vessels. What's happening? Notice, too, they're just pushing right up against Ukraine border over Poland. Right? And then there's those man-in-the-middle circles you can see down near the southern side of Germany towards France. All right. Go out here, and I did see one little blip of a flight coming out of Japan. Interesting, yeah. Right, again, AWACS out there looking for nukes, probably looking at Rocket Man. And then this is the E7, which is the AWACS, the new AWACS, really, really nice, by the way. All right, down off Australia, that's a normal spot. I see them. All right, R135s. Just notice this one. It seems to come out of Okinawa, headed towards the north. Near Japan, towards heading further north towards maybe Russia. And then the normal areas that you would see them in Europe. Notice that they've kind of abandoned, gone away from Israel. And then this little blip looking at stuff to the north, right, or northern border. I don't know why we even look, because obviously I don't know if they even care, given how porous our borders are. So, okay. Check this out, C-17s, and then we'll get into the news of what's going on. But there is a flurry of stuff out of Hawaii, as always, or in and out of Hawaii, out of Alaska. And some broken traces headed towards the Texas, New Mexico border. Definitely find that interesting. Now, the big one here for me is not the one headed into Central America. Notice there is 0 going into Haiti, right? And then notice Virgin Islands. I'm telling you, when this goes south, that's where they're all headed. They're going to the Virgin Islands. They've got probably bunkers down there and a total setup so they can escape the unrest happening here in the United States. Look how thick these traces are into Ramstein. And then also notice that you see them kind of going down towards Crete and around. So it's like some broken traces. They get over the Mediterranean, they just kill it. But then you see the pickup as it rolls in and out of Egypt and out of Jordan, right? See that little pocket there? That's Saudi. That's right up in the little corner. And then you've got this little staging area into Jordan. Looks like they landed in Riyadh. And then, of course, they've got them going in and out of Qatar and the UAE. Some more broken traces headed down, kind of weird, towards the Arabian Sea. And then you can see these coming out of Japan, pretty light, headed to Malaysia. Okay. In Australia, a couple transitions there. That one I don't really get because it just kind of goes off of Perth and then just boop, disappears. Headed to where? I don't know. All right. Let's get back over here. We're going to get into the news. Let's talk first and foremost this Eclipse thing. This is a map. This is actually Newsweek. So this isn't like some, hip shot social media deal where somebody's just kind of piecing things together. This is actually Newsweek where they are piecing things together. But I do find it very odd that this particular sky event, this map is showing warnings for people to stock up on food ahead of the solar eclipse. It's just like an air show. This is the part I guess I don't get. I mean, yeah, is it a warning for the United States? I certainly believe so. Just given, the fact of where we are in this country, could this be the last and final warning? Maybe. But these are the 4 states that are telling people that, to basically stock up on food. And I just don't get it. I mean, we had one that came through and went the other direction a couple of years ago. And I don't recall if they ever told people to stock up on food, but I just do find this very unusual that they would tell people to do so. Now, this covers quite a few places, but look at this. Stock up on supplies for their animals, right? For pet owners. I just don't, like I said, none of this makes any sense. This should not be anything at all, really. Solar eclipse warning issued as Texas power grid faces energy plunge. This has nothing to do with the solar eclipse. It's really bizarre to me. Do they know something that maybe they're just trying to bundle this in and they can't tell us? Perhaps. Check this out, though. This eclipse can start in Mexico, going to be big in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So it's pretty much jumping right across the center of the United States. This is headed eastbound, right? So, but again, so it's going to come straight across here. Very, very strange. Okay. But if you want to take heed, I do have Monkey Werx Prep over there. I'm not pushing it because of that. I'm just saying, if you're concerned about this, I don't think there's a need to be concerned. But if you are, you can go here and get some good stuff for you and your family. All right, moving on. Let's talk immigration. Just notice very, very light today, unusually light. Typically, this board is packed. I see a couple of border things, and I see one headed to Guatemala out of Laredo. I've never seen only 2 flights in the entire time I've been tracking, so something is amiss. All right. Okay, this ought to get you a little salty. Illegal immigrants can carry guns. This is coming from a federal judge. I'm not really sure what part. Listen, if you go to apply for a gun and you are the question, you fill out the form, right? It asks you, are you a U.S. citizen? No. There's a box there. You check no. Are you, any kind of thing that has to do with whether or not you believe in the U.S. Constitution and are an American citizen? If you fill out any of those other boxes, you're probably going to get scrutiny beyond what normal people would get. But this one, to tell me that illegals can actually carry guns here in the United States while they try to come after our guns, absolutely blows me away. And so this just goes to show you the broken state of our union and the fact that it's up is down, down is up, right? It's absolutely insane. All right, now here is another one just to add salt to the wound. Tyson is now hiring migrants and laying off U.S. workers. Yeah, Amazon was doing the same thing. As they're cutting people loose, we can see them flying folks in. This is it just goes to show you where we are as a country. The fact that they would even do this is pretty bad. So Tyson Food announced it is shuttering an Iowa pork factory that will lead to more than 1,000 lost jobs. And it's pretty bad, actually. This is a very small town, by the way. It says at least 87 migrants from Central and South America were hired in 2 separate groups, according to the news. And it says that the report is that Tyson employs about 42,000 immigrants. Get your head around that. Tyson employs 42,000 immigrants. And that the company's corporate social responsibility is that we would like to employ another 42,000 if we could find them. So if you buy your chicken, just don't buy Tyson. All right, simple as that. Just go to their competitor if they have one, or start buying turkeys or something different. Anyway, moving on. as we get into flashbang and he is on the move. Let's jump over here to the weather map because this does kind of show us a little better imaging in terms of the TFRs. But the dude is going all over the place. He's on the campaign trail, which blows me away. I guess he didn't get the memo that nobody really likes him. And he's not listening to his handlers, clearly. But you can see he's headed to Reno. He's headed down to Vegas. He's headed to Phoenix, to Dallas, just, and then, of course, down here to Houston. So he is on the road. And not that any of us care. Now, this I do find interesting. This is a special weather statement. The reason I find this so interesting is because this is an area that has been inundated with rain. You're talking flooding. You're talking all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden, now they're coming in and they're saying the conditions, brisk winds, dry vegetation, and lower relative humidity will combine to produce elevated weather conditions later today. Basically, these are fireboxes. They're saying that fires may ignite and spread rapidly. Blows you away. Oh, you think everything would be pretty saturated. Look at the storm just now coming off of this area, right? Off the East Coast. And then, of course, you get over here and it's just another wave and another wave. So anyway, all right. Now, look, this right here is, it's hard to find words to really describe what exactly is going on other than the fact that you have an active administration that is, it's a kangaroo court, right? They're trying to prosecute the biggest threat, right? And everybody sees it. And they are going at this guy, lock, stock, and barrel. So Trump fails to secure a bond in a civil fraud case. I'm telling you, they're going to lock this guy up. And he'll be in jail, and he'll probably get elected from jail. But as soon as he goes on jail, they'll probably move him from the ballot. I'm praying this doesn't happen because I got to be honest with you. If this guy doesn't get in, our days are numbered. No two ways about it. It's not that Trump is, the savior of the United States, because believe me, I put all my faith in God. But this right here is just, I think it's the writing on the wall. Look at this. According to Trump's legal team, the ex-president has approached 30 insurance underwriters in an attempt to secure the bond. And they're all basically saying, yeah, we're not going to do it. It's a $464 million bond to cover the judgment against him in a civil fraud case. And so if he can't secure the bond, then they start to freeze probably his assets and liquidate and all the other stuff. But it's just, this is no different than the Gestapo in Nazi Germany and how they're going after their political opponents. Okay. And once they get him, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're coming after us next. Okay. All right. And if we allow it, it's shame on us. Okay. All right. Here we go. Flashbang administration approves $500 million. This just blows you away. $500 million to the Middle East for oil drilling. Right. Does the Middle East not already have oil drilling capabilities? Probably better than we have here in the United States. They've been doing it for a very long time. And he's restricting domestic supply. Keep in mind, too, that our SBR, strategic oil reserve, is basically, it's almost depleted. There's less than, you probably have 2 to 3 weeks worth there because he sold a big chunk of that to China like an idiot. Again, treason. Why would you do that to us? It makes no sense. Maybe just because you're stupid and you don't understand it. And, like I said, he was probably, never mind. I'm just going to go on. This just further, it just breaks us down even further. We are producing more oil right now for the second year in a row than we've ever done in our history of our country. We're pushing it out. That means everybody and their brother's buying it up, but they're saying, well, we're thinking our oil may go away here in a couple of years, is what they're saying, which just blows you away to think that. But then, you turn around and you start looking for more drills and oil in the Middle East. It just, I don't know. Like I said, the world's on its head. It makes zero sense. But all right, check this out. Evacuation flights to begin as Haiti deteriorates. Yeah, the country is definitely, it's a failed state. They won't let the prime minister of the country, what is their presidential equivalent, I guess, to even return home. Yet I've heard stories of people trying to get over to the Dominican Republic to get out of that location. You would think, being U.S. citizens, you could probably do that, but they're making it very difficult to move around. Very dangerous situation. I looked at the arrival board, and there were 2 flights scheduled to arrive. It didn't look like it was anything special. It looked like regular flights that tend to be canceled. So I'm not seeing it yet, but we'll watch. I will tell you this. I don't see any C-17s. I don't see any flights going in and out of there from a U.S. military perspective. Looks like we have left them to basically figure it out. So, all right, we talk about our southern border. I want you to see this because this becomes very, very important given the fact that we know we have bad people coming across the border. This is just yet another confirmation. A Muslim guy was caught at the border, says he is from Hezbollah, and he's a jihadi. He said, I'm going to try to make a bomb. Now, he was caught near El Paso, 22 years old, caught by U.S. Border Patrol on March 9th. It says, while in custody, he was asked, what are you doing in the United States? To which he replied, I'm going to try and make a bomb. And he was headed to New York. So there you have it. Yeah. This is a situation we are facing. Think about how many have actually gotten in and we don't even know about, right? Okay. And this is just yet another. I just read actually another case about the plague. I think it was in New Mexico. We're seeing more and more cases of this stuff happening. But the Czech Republic is now struggling to contain this surge of whooping cough. And so they're saying they haven't seen this. Let's just kind of go through some of the numbers here. Whooping cough is on the rise across Europe, but Czech Republic is no exception. It says, a week marked by confusion surrounding official guidance and a controversial public appearance by Prague's mayor has left some wondering if anything has even been learned about the previous pandemic. It says the first week of January, 28 registered cases of whooping cough. The figure now stands at 3,084, a number not seen since 1963. So we're seeing a lot of this, and it is because a lot of it has to do with the weaponization of migration, right? When you start pushing people and do a forced migration into other countries, you are basically stirring things up. You're taking people that have probably been exposed or are not being treated for something like that, and measles is a perfect example, putting them into another country. Then we see this giant flare up as they try to contain it. And we're seeing, increased measles cases in the U.S. We're seeing, things like this, whooping cough, and as well as a multitude of other things. Just seems to be on the rise. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look. Anything catches my eye here from the NOTAM perspective. Remember, this yellow stuff is just weather slop. I see some launch boxes. This is probably tied to Starlink. Yeah, Falcon 9 Starlink. Stage reentry. All right, splashdown. So that is that one. And then it looks like a launch box up here by the Ruskies. Looks like they are going to be doing some rocket firing out over the North Pacific. Other than that, everything else looks to be pretty much the same. I don't see anything new, okay, that catches my eye. There was one. Let me see if it's still here as we get down. This one right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here we go. Just further proof that we are not all crazy. Here we go. Yep, reservation for weather modification technology flight will take place, and these are the coordinates. So, yeah, this is, again, it's a smoking gun. We know they're doing it, and we just see further, instances where they're caught doing it. So, okay. Now, the Kenyan. What you up to, my man? Check this out. He secretly meets with the PM. If you don't know who this guy is, he is a WEF graduate, right? He's a globalist. How he got into office there, well, yeah, we'll just leave that one alone. But anyway, he decided he's going to do an informal courtesy drop-in on the PM there in the UK. What it's about, I have no idea, but why would you be doing that? You're not really part of any type of, well, yeah, you are. We know who you are. So we'll just leave it at that again. But yeah, eyes on that one. This is probably greasing the skids, probably maybe some more Five Eyes stuff to try and do something to Trump like they did in the past. Or he's over there saying, yo, hey, you need to delete these files because they're getting ready to come after us. We do believe he may get back in. There's no telling what's going on. I'm just purely speculation on my part, but I do find this very suspect. Okay. And then this one, I'm telling you, this is going to come back to haunt us, but the U.S. is slow walking the military aid to Israel. This is coming from a senior Israeli official. And he spoke with ABC News on a condition of anonymity, saying that U.S. military aid shipments were coming very fast on the onset, and now they're far and few between. I don't buy this for a minute. Israel might lose this war. It says they're running low on 155 millimeter artillery shells. Yeah, well, guess what? So is everybody else on the planet. But you know, you turn your back on them, and they're not going to lose the war. Believe me, they're just not. Everything, all eyes are going to end up turning to Israel here eventually. And you just watch for, you've got Ezekiel 38, with Gog Magog. That's all kind of taking shape. You've got Isaiah 17 potential. And then you have, which may or may not happen, is Psalm 83. Is that maybe what we're looking at right now? Or is that about to happen? So there's a lot of things within the Bible context that we probably will see happen here in the not too distant future. I think we should keep eyes on. And that would include the third temple that is about to be built. So, okay. Now, I'm only going to point out a couple of these, and then we're going to break away. This is just important because I am noticing the big boys coming in and out of Dover, as well as some troop transports that are rolling up. Just notice where they're all headed. RZE Poland. Okay. That is because I am seeing another surge. This one's headed to Ramstein, but it will probably, that's definitely troops headed in. Okay. And then if we get over here to Ramstein itself, you've got German Air Force, C-130s, some C-17s coming in. Camber Flight coming in from Dover, right? German Air Force coming in from Berlin, Camber Flight. So very, very active. Right there is the one you want to pay attention to, the gray bird showing up from Wiesbaden. That is a G4. That's your agency, boys. From there, they're headed back to Stuttgart. And then, of course, just notice these are headed back to JFK and to Baltimore. That's an Omni. Probably not, if I had to guess, probably not bringing troops back. Imagine they probably dropped some off. Coming out of Ramstein, this is probably taking illegals back to the United States. I showed you that C-17 traffic that kind of converges into Ramstein. That's why I believe that. Okay. And then this is RZE Poland. This, just interesting, is kind of just go down the line here to see if I see anything. I do see those Camber flights, 747 this time, another 747. Again, this is your forward operating base. The fact that we're seeing a stack up of Camber flights, as well as Coletta and a handful of the other large Atlas Airs like this coming in, base commanders coming in. We've seen SPAR flights landing. Tells me I do think we may see a spring offensive push to try to get Russia back to their original border state. But let's see if it happens or not. Interesting times for sure. So, all right, listen, that is going to do it for our SITREP today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you on Thursday for our next SITREP. That's it. You guys be safe out there. God bless. Monkey out. Thanks for watching, folks. You can check out the latest gear and products by selecting the QR code on your screen now, or go to monkeyworksus.com.